What's going on, y'all? A-Stock here, going to be talking about Deshaun Watson getting cleared of charges. The deposition of Deshaun Watson started on Friday with two of 22 total dispositions got carried out. Rusty Hardin said that Watson would invoke the Fifth Amendment, avoid incriminating himself, which this lasted for about 3 hours. And said that a less than a mile away grand jury met to discuss if Watson would face any criminal charges. And it was reported in the last update that all of the accusations were civil lawsuits. They could still turn into criminal charges. But the grand jury ruled that Watson will not face criminal charges, news that broke during the writing of this article. And you have these two tweets from Aaron Wilson and Adam Schefter. One saying that Rusty Hardin got deposed by Tony Busby for 3 hours, exercised his Fifth Amendment right. And Hardin saying we had a meaningless exercise, warning Tony that Deshaun wasn't going to answer any questions on advice of counsel. And Adam Schefter broke news of Deshaun Watson not facing any criminal charges. Then the Associated Press also wrote an article about this situation too. And this is all in part to an investigation sparked by 22 different lawsuits filed by 22 different women who accused him of sexual assault and harassment. The decision from the grand jury came after a year where the women first filed their suits, accusing Watson of exposing himself, touching them with his or kissing them against their will during massage appointments. One woman alleged Watson forced her to perform oral sex. Houston police started investigating Watson in April 2021 after a complaint was filed, which the FBI also reviewed allegations, which prosecutors had presented evidence and testimony to the grand jury over 6 hours on Friday related to 9 criminal complaints against Watson. Jonah Stallings, chief of the Adult Sex Crimes and Trafficking Division with the Harris County District Attorney's Office, said she declined to say what possible charges were presented to the grand jury for consideration. Stallings said that they respect the grand jury's decision. Watson's lawyers said that some sexual activity happened during some of the massage appointments, but he never coerced anyone. Then Watson did make a statement saying how emotional of a moment it is, saying that they're far from being done handling what we need to handle on the legal side, but today definitely is a big day. And he said he's just going to continue to keep pushing forward, trying to rebuild his name back to where it was before, if not better. The attorney representing the 22 women, Busby, said that the criminal case is separate from the civil cases, and he will continue to do the process of questioning Watson as the lawsuits move toward trial. Earlier Friday, Busby questioned Watson during a deposition. The civil cases will continue to gather steam. We take Mr. Watson's deposition again Tuesday. Respect the process, Busby said. 8 of the women who sued Watson that filed criminal complaints against him with Houston police had been set to appear before the grand jury. 2 other women who didn't sue Watson also filed complaints. Watson's lawyers called the lawsuits a, quote, money grab, and claimed that all 22 women who sued are lying, a strategy some experts and advocates say relies on long-use tropes designed to minimize such accusations, which I can get into that a bit more later. We were vindicated that in the sense that if law enforcement thoroughly looked at these matters, that we have the result we had today. Now it's clear as day that this is far from over, because even though people can breathe a sigh of relief, a lot of people have been saying that seeing this as a victory, but there's a lot that goes into this. I think that there's still a trial that has to still take place. Now, if his DNA was used as part of the deposition, then I think this could be a slam dunk victory in his favor if the DNA kind of comes back inconclusive, to where it shows that he was innocent, that his DNA was not found on none of these women. If his DNA is found on some of these women, it's really going to come down to a word of mouth to whether or not to determine if it was actually consensual or not, because you're gonna have them saying no, it wasn't, him saying it was. Which I think in a situation like this, when you're somebody like Deshaun Watson, you need to have women sign NDAs at some point, because if you don't sign NDAs and you end up in a predicament like this, you fucked. For all I know, they could have signed NDAs, and that could be part of the evidence that was used in favor of Deshaun Watson. Now, historically speaking, we do know that there's always a lot of athletes that get hit with different false claims of sexual misconduct, sexual harassment, sexual assault, and some end up doing time wrongfully, and we don't find out for years later he was innocent the whole time, and some of this stuff was made up and consensual, and by that time the person in question had done what, 10-15 years, and his life is ruined. But hell, Deshaun Watson's brand has been tarnished because he lost a couple brand deals during this entire process. And we also do realize that there are women who do indeed want a quick, 15 minutes of fame, and they will make up some things just to get some clout. We do realize that is a thing. However, there is an old saying that if it's like a lot of stories, a lot of people saying the same thing, people could say or argue that it could be some truth to it. I mean, you look at not only somebody like Deshaun Watson, but also look at somebody like Trey Songz, who's still facing allegations himself to this day. I mean, granted, there was something that he beat, but still, like, he's still facing some allegations, and even you've had DJ Academics comment on those allegations and say that he's kind of heard some of the same things from multitudes of women. But I do think this is a case in point as why celebrities need to make it like a thing to where you have any woman who you end up having, some fun with, signing a damn NDA, have them sign an NDA. That way, if in the future they get mad at you or whatever, they try to say you raped them, and he could just easily come back and just say, no, I have this NDA that pretty much proves that it was consensual. And in that case, now I'm not saying he don't have any NDAs on hand. He may have, he may not. I'm not 100% sure. But if he don't, he can at least, like, moving forward in the future, just have women sign NDAs. On the flip side of this, Deshaun Watson is a very powerful guy, a guy with a lot of influence and money. So if he wanted to keep things on the hush hush, or to kind of use intimidation factors to keep certain people quiet, he would. I'm not saying that's the case here, but typically whenever there's a high profile case involving either a NFL athlete, or hell, not even an NFL athlete, but somebody who's in corporate America, that's like, let's say the CEO of a place like Target, for example, got caught in a scandal. We know that somebody that powerful, somebody of that status, has a lot of power and a lot of money to keep people silent from taking a stand, and that's just many different forms of intimidation. And they don't just include leaders of corporations, but politicians as well. Stuff like this runs deep, runs all the way to the top. And like I said, something like this is really far from over, because I think they said they still have a trial. But like I said, like, I hope his DNA does not turn out to be a match to where his DNA doesn't show up on them, and if it don't, I think I can really clear his name, hopefully a bit more. But if it is, like I said, it kind of makes things a bit more sketchy, because if the DNA is found, it'll boil down to a his word versus hers situation, and that could make the situation in this whole entire case a bit more dicey in of itself. But honestly, I hope the best for Deshaun. I hope he beats it, but at the same time, I hope he ain't really lying, because this is 22 different women. Like, it's not like it's just a couple women. This is 22 different women. Now, with that being said, let me know what you guys think about this story in the comments below. What are your thoughts on this entire Deshaun Watson case? Do you think that Deshaun Watson is guilty, or do you think that he is innocent and these allegations are false. Let me know what your thoughts is in the comments. Until next time, it's been H-Dog here, and I'm out. Peace.